Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. At day 5 of the Arabic starter sprint. Welcome, dear brother or sister. Today we are exactly halfway through the sprint. So congratulations for this progress. By now it's already clear that you are one of the serious learners because I think like more than 50%, 70% already drops off before today's session. So you are one of the learners that completes what they have started. Alhamdulillah. So I'm really happy that you are here attending today's session again. What are we going to cover today? Before we go into this lesson, I want to share a quick short story about how one letter can change the entire meaning of an Arabic word. One other day, I was going with my daughter, who's still 2 years. We're going to buy some breakfast from outside. So on the way back, she pointed at a store and she said like "bayd." She said "bait, bait." So I say, yeah, we are going to home because bait means in Arabic home, right? So I say, yeah, we'll go home. So she's on, no, bayd, bayd. So I say, she means bayd, which means eggs. It just made me realize how quickly the Arabic meaning can change. Like if you say bait with the ta, it's home. But if you say bayd with the dot, it's eggs. And of course, because she's still young, she cannot pronounce the letter ta and dot very clearly yet. So I didn't understand it. Only after the second or third time I understand what she meant. Also, if you just change one letter, there are also in the Quran will change its meaning. And we are going to look at an example right now of that as well. For example, Surah At-Teen, it says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Wat-Teeni was-Zaytoon. Wat-Teen in Arabic means fig. But it is not teen because teen means clay. So with the ta means teen, and with the ta it's teen. In another ayah, for example, وَلَقَدْ خَلَقَنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ سُلَالَةٍ مِنْ طِينٍ. So in this ayah, it means clay. So that's just a very quick example that the pronunciation of the letters in the right way is really important because changing the pronunciation of just one letter will change the entire meaning. So with that being said, question for you, how well did lesson 6 go? Because like I already mentioned, the last lesson, it was quite a challenging one. Lesson 6 was more challenging than for example, 4 and 5. If I remember correctly, were a bit easier. But lesson 6 is quite a challenging one because it's really the one where you have to practice a lot. So if it went well, good, very well. If it was still a bit challenging, no problem, because actually today we are going to continue practicing with lesson 6 as well. So let's start with that. During live sessions, I actually ask my students to repeat with me and practice with me, but because we are doing this recorded, pause the video and try to read all these words one by one. So please pause the video, read the words one by one, the first sentence only, and after that I'm going to do it with you together. All right, so let's begin with the first word. This word is saying abadan, ahadun, akhadha. And remember to put your tongue between your teeth. Akhadha, adhina, amara. And this one is saying ana. All right, please pause the video again. Practice for yourself first, and then let's practice together. So, Bismillah. Bakhila, bararatin. So this is challenging because you have two ra. Barara, ra. Bararatin. Remember we said the previous lesson, if you have a ha, this is the letter ha, with two dots on top, it's actually called ta. Tin. Bararatin, tin. Ja'ala, jama'a. So you see here the ayn with the fatha. In the middle of a word, it's written like this, but at the end of a word, it's written like this in its complete form. Jama'a. Next, hasada, hashara. Please pause the video again, and then we're going to go through it together. All right. Khashiya. This is the ya. So by the way, sometimes you put the two dots on the ya, and sometimes you don't put the two dots. So this example, they didn't put the two dots, but it's still the ya. Khashiya. Khalaqa, khuliqa. So you see the difference between al-fatha, khalaqa, and this one has the dhamma, khu, and then the kasra, li, and then the fatha again, qa, khuliqa. Zakara, rafa'a, raqabatin. And of course, don't worry if you are not super up to speed. it's completely fine. If you can read just 50% of this words, if you already had that correctly, that's already very well. You can just then continue with this lesson. If you really cannot read at all what is saying here, then you have to really go back first to the previous lesson, exercise a bit more using the previous lesson recorded video, or also using the app, and then you can continue this lesson, inshallah. But if you just can read, let's say 50%, you are very ready to go continue with this lesson today. So today, what we are going to cover lesson 7 and lesson 8. So we are going to do 2 lessons because they are not very challenging actually. So today is a bit easier again. And after that, also I have a very nice exercise, I think, for you that we are going to cover together as well. What we are going to look at today is something that we call the standing movements. And basically, what we have learned the previous lesson is the short vowels, which are 3: fatha, kasra, damma. Now we are going to stretch them from half a second to 2 seconds. So let's look at an example. What is this saying? This is saying ba, ba, not ba, no, ba, half a second. Ra. And here, what we are going to put here now, we have the ba with the fatha, the same as the fatha here. But now what is coming extra? There is coming a small alif. We call this alif saghira, small alif, translated as small alif. So we have here, this purple line is actually a small alif. And how do you pronounce this? Ba alif saghira, ba. So you're gonna pronounce it as ba. And this one is ba. So this is half second, ba. And the one on the bottom is ba, ba. Again, at the top is ra. The one lower is ra. Here we have ha, he, hu. Here we have ha, he, hu. Alif saghira. Dit is ya saghira. Dit is waw saghira. Alif saghira means small alif. Ya saghira means small ya. And waw saghira means small waw. Because actually, let's go to the whiteboard to cover something. First, we are going back up. Actually, if you have the ba with the fatha, it's actually a very, you pronounce it as a really small alif. Like this is the difference. This versus ba alif. This is ba. This is ba. This is ba. Ba plus alif. This is the ba plus fatha. So you can see the fatha as a very short alif. The same with the kasra. If you have here ba with kasra, b, versus ba ya. This is b. So this is b. This is b. Next one, the last, you already guess it, is going to be the wow. It is the ba with the damma is boo. Or, so you have to stretch this for 2 seconds. This is 2 seconds. And this is going to have to be half a second. So this is 2 seconds. This is half second. That is the difference between the fatha and the alif, and the kasra and the ya, and the damma and the waw. Tamam? So that is something that we have to keep in mind. Now, instead of writing it like this, ba, in the Quran, it's very common to write it like this. Ba with a small alif, make this a bit longer. This is the same. Ba with the alif or ba with the alif. But this is a small alif. We call it small alif. But the pronunciation is exactly the same. The same case also for the, for example, ya. If we say like this, ya, or you write it down like this. Ya. So here the alif again. This red alif and this red alif is exactly the same. Tamam? And that's also the case with the other ones. So here you have ya saghira, and this is the waw saghira. So that is the difference between the short vowels. What do we mean with short vowels? The fatha, kasra, damma. This is the short vowels. And the long vowels, that is the alif and the ya and the waw. Alif, ya, waw are the long vowels. Okay, now we can proceed to the next. That's all you have to know, by the way, about lesson 7. That's all. That's everything you have to know. Now we're going to the next lesson, lesson 8. And now we are going to look something that is called maddah and leen. حروف اللين. حروف المد وحروف اللين. And what is حروف المد? حروف المد is if there is a fatha and an alif, or a dhamma and a waw, or a kasra and a ya. So let's look at an example here at the top. The first one, we have the ba, fatha, and the alif. So the alif becomes something that we call the mad. Ba. And here also the waw, and after that, the dhamma, and after that the waw becomes boo, more long. And the kasra with the ya becomes bi. So for example, if this is called bi, then we have here bi. Actually, what I just explained before as well. So here, for example, bu, ba with the dhamma. Let's make the dhamma a bit more good, like this. And we have bu. Then we have something that is called huruful leen. And that is always if there is a fatha followed by a waw or a ya. So if you have a fatha followed by a waw or a fatha followed by a ya, that's something that we call leen. And that means that you just have to make the waw or the ya very short, like this. Taw, tay, thaw, they, raw, ray. So if you have a fatha followed by the ya, or a fatha followed by the waw, you make the letter ya or waw short, very short. It becomes soft, very soft. As you can hear, it's very soft coming out. Thaw, say, taw, raw. So this is huruf leen, and it's translated as soft. And the mad is stretch. So if this short vowel, after it comes the long vowel that is the same family, the same category as this. So if the short vowel and the long vowel are the same category, then you make it long, like boo, bi. This the kasra belongs to the ya. So the kasra and the ya are the same, let's say, family of vowels. The fatha, what is the long vowel, let's say the form of the fatha, that is the alif. So that's why we say ha. But if the fatha is followed by the ya, then becomes the leen, like this. Hay. For example, here we have ha, ya. Is the fatha the same family of vowels as the ya? No, because the fatha belongs to the alif. So then you say hay. It's become harf lay, leen. This is harf leen. But if the fatha belongs, the letter is the vowel, long vowel that is the same family as the fatha. So for example, the alif, because the fatha and alif are like the same family of vowels, then it is harf mad. Then you have to extend it to 2 seconds. Ha. And by practicing, it will become very natural to you. You don't have to memorize it. You just have to practice with it. Another example. Let's say ayn. U. Is the waw the same family as the dhamma? Is the waw the same family as the dhamma? Yes. So then we're gonna make it a mad. And it becomes aw. And for example, if the ayn has the fatha followed by a ya, then again it's a leen, harf leen. Because then you pronounce it very softly. Ay. Not ay or mad. You're not gonna extend it, you're just gonna make it very soft. Ay. It's gonna come out very soft from your mouth. So that is what you have to understand regarding the huruf al-mad and huruf al-leen. And that is actually the lesson number 8. And that's everything you have to know about this lesson. So now we are going to practice with Surah Al-Fatiha right now. And I think most Muslims already have Surah Al-Fatiha memorized. If you have Surah Al-Fatiha not memorized yet, no problem. You can still follow this exercise. But if you're Muslim, please try to memorize this surah as fast as possible. Because of course it's Kitab. Like it's the beginning of the Quran, and it's a very important surah. So may Allah make it easy for you for memorizing this surah. So with that being said, let's go to the practice. What we are going to do right now, first we are going to see that this Quran is color coded. For example, you see here the ya again, the same colors. Why? That is of course because it's color coded. And can you recognize what this means? the ya. Can you see what they have the relation? The ya, the letter that comes before the ya is always the kasra. And what have we said? If there is a kasra before the ya, it becomes harful mad. Because the ya and the kasra belong to the same family of vowels. Alif, fatha, ya, kasra, waw, dhamma. So if you have the ya and the letter that comes before the ya has a kasra, like we have seen here, then it is harf mad. And all huruf al-mad here are color coded with the color yellow. So it will become then Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, like so. 2 seconds. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Why is there 2-second mat? By now you know. Because the letter before the ya has a kasra. And if the letter before the ya has a kasra, it is harf mad. The ya becomes harf mad. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Okay? تمام. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Two things about this last ayah. The first one we already covered it before. This is mad lazim. Remember this wave symbol. What does it mean? 6 seconds mad. This is 2-second mad. So this is 2-second mad and this is 6-second mad. This we call mad lazim. This we call mad lazim. And this is just a normal mad. We call it natural mad. Tamam? Okay, so what else can we say about Surah Al-Fatiha that we have learned so far? We have just seen Alif Saghira. Can you spot Alif Saghira here at this ayah? You just have to notice the small alif after a letter. And that is here, for example. You see here, Alif Saghira. So if you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. You don't say Rabbil Alameen. Alameen. So if there is no alif, you say Alameen. But there is an alif, so you say You notice? Ar-Rahman ar-Rahman. Ma. You don't say Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You say Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ma. Here alif again. Maliki yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط المستقيم. So this is ألف صغيرة again. صراط الذين ألف صغيرة صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. تمام. Of course you don't have to be super fluent in reading it. This exercise is just about recognizing what we have learned before today and previous lessons into an actual surah Al-Fatiha, which we inshallah memorize. Tamam? So that's all the purpose of this exercise. It's not to be completely fluent with Surah Al-Fatiha yet. With regards to reading it, it's just about recognizing some of the theory or things that we have covered. What else can we say about Surah Al-Fatiha? Like here you see again mad saghira, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Tamam, and here again the mad. So that's all for now, I think, regarding Surah Al-Fatiha, and the other things that will come later inshallah, the next lessons. So congratulations, Mabruk, because you are now halfway through the Arabic Starter Sprint, lesson 5. And we have now officially completed half the sprint. I hope it's going very well for you so far. Don't forget, if you have learned a lot, to also invite other people to this Arabic learning journey, so they can join you inshallah. And also please share your tips and tricks with other learners of this sprint. Maybe you have some good tips, maybe you have beautiful notes. I see sometimes students make very beautiful notes during the learning. You can share that with other learners as well. They will benefit from that inshallah. And the next lesson, we are going to practice even more. So the next lesson, there will be no new theory, just more practice. So make sure to watch that video as well, the next lesson, where we will be practicing more, inshallah. With that being said, Assalamu alaikum.